Thanks, guys. So what I want to do today is I first want to take a walkthrough of what the workflow actually looks like, how it was put together, and then we'll go ahead and execute the workflow and see how it runs. In this case, we're starting with a form, which is our paycheck protection application. So the beautiful thing about using Nintex Forms for Nintex Workflow Cloud is that not only is it a drag and drop designer, but it's also 100% responsive. So not only can I move these controls around and the form will reconfigure itself, I can also preview this, and we'll see this in the real form as well, and when I change my window size, the form automatically reconfigures itself for whatever size my screen is. On this form, you can see that we have most of the fields that we need, as well as all of the documentation and notes that go along with the actual form that is related to the Paycheck Protection Program. We've also configured some additional rules for this form. So if there are additional applicant owners, we can come in and in our preview here, we'll tick this to true, and we can see that we automatically provide the user with the opportunity to upload that sheet of additional owners. Now this is built out in our rules engine. So we can see this show additional owners, and when additional owners is set to yes, we make that additional owner sheet control visible and required because we don't want them to say yes and then not upload that sheet. Otherwise, the additional owner sheet will not be visible. Awesome. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look at what the rest of the workflow looks like. In here, we can see that we're actually going to be generating a document from that form. And I already have a pre-configured template in this box folder, and my box folder is my Finance Assistance Templates PPP Borrower Application Demo Doc. And what it's going to do is it's going to generate a PDF from that Word document that I've already gone through and tagged. And the way that this tagging works is in our document, we have all of these different variables. And when we want to use them within the document itself, we actually will copy these tags and paste them directly into our Word document. So I'm just going to drag up my demo form here. So this is what the actual form looks like when it's configured. And so you can see I've got these tags already embedded into my tables where I want this data to show up in the final PDF. So we'll go ahead and drop those away. In our generate document action, I am going to make sure that I'm overwriting any files that are there so I have the most recent version, and I am going to store the document path so my other actions know where to get this document in the future. The next real step in the workflow is actually getting that digital signature. In this case, we're going to use Nintex Sign powered by Adobe Sign. And this is very easy to configure. I already have my connection built out to Nintex Sign, just need to sign in with my user credentials. I'm going to send this to the recipient and using the primary contact name that we got on the start form, as well as the email address that they provided on the start form. Both of these are start variables, and so you can pull them right from the start event section of the insert variable panel. We do know that the participant's role is going to be signer, and we want them to identify using their email. Now, I just have a very short message for this demo. Please review and sign your application. However, this can be customized to use any of the different start variables, any additional variables that you have to make sure that they know that this is coming from you. I'm going to give this person 30 days until the document expires. And then we need to configure where this document template is coming from. In this particular demo, I'm actually going to be pulling from the document that we created. Remember, we want it to be connected to Box, and it's going to be our document path. However, you could also pull this from a file variable elsewhere in your workflow, or a pre-configured template in Nintex Sign. We are going to put out the agreement URL and the agreement ID so that we can reference those later. And then for any signed document, there are 3 different paths you can have. The document could expire if they don't sign in a given period of time. The document could be aborted if for some reason the contract or the document needs to be negated, or they can complete the document and we would progress down this path. Now, in this case, we are going to complete the document in our demo, sign it, and this time in our output and signed applications folder. We'll also send a completed notification that lets the signer know that they've completed their paycheck protection application. And then we're also going to load this data into SharePoint so that our loan officer can review the data. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll publish this workflow. And we'll go ahead and we'll open up this form in a new tab. And so as you can see, here is our Paycheck Protection Program form. We can go through, fill out all of this information. Again, I do want to show that this form is responsive. So as you change the size of your page, the form will automatically adjust itself to your screen size. I actually already have a completed form here where I've gone through and filled out the information using my name and our Contoso Protection Agency business. So let's go ahead and we'll submit this form and see what it looks like as it runs through. Oh, now I do have some required fields here, and I forgot to put in what is the purpose of this loan. Well, of course, it's for payroll, so we'll go ahead and we'll check that, and then we'll say submit. And now one of the great things about Nintex Workflow Cloud is that I can go ahead and track this instance and see where it is in its progress. So we can see that it's kicked off, and now it's generating this document for us. We can see that it completed generating the document, and now it's actually sending that document out for signature. And I can actually hear that I've gotten that email, so we'll go ahead and jump back over. And here's my request to sign my application. So here's that custom message that we put in. We'll go ahead and review and sign. And I can see that I've got my business type, my name, address, all that information that was entered into our document is now here. So I can go down, simply click to add my signature, and then click to sign. What this will do is then send me a confirmation back to my email. This includes a signed copy of the document for my records, as well as the ability to go and check on the agreement directly within Nintex Sign. However, I can also come back over, and because, again, remember we were saving this to our box folder, we can go into our outputs. Here's my Contoso, and then we want to take a look at our signed applications, and here's a copy of the signed application directly within Box. Finally, we want to make sure that our data has been passed into SharePoint so that our loan officer can review it, and we can see that I have both my Cephalo Consulting Group, which I did a little bit earlier, and then this Contoso Protection Agency with all of my data added here to SharePoint.